The third truth, or set of truth that we see is about Jesus. He inserts himself into this parable. He is the Son. Now, don't be under any illusion. God did not sit in heaven and think, I don't know how this is really going to play out, but I'm going to send my Son, and maybe they'll respect him. No, that's that limitation of the parable, once again. But Jesus is the Son that is sent. And you notice what happens in this parable and what happens in real life to Jesus. He is sent to those who were in charge of the vineyard. And guess what happens? He's thrown out of Jerusalem and killed. He says all of this as he's walking towards the cross. In Jesus' mind, it was not a mystery. He teaches his disciples over and over again, though they would not hear. He teaches them over and over again that he is going to the cross to die. And yet, this parable gives us that glimpse, that truth. The Son of God comes to pay the price of our sin, your sin, my sin, and he does it willingly. He does it willingly. So what about Jesus? He is the foundation on which everything of meaning is built, and the cornerstone which holds everything together. Listen to his words. He says that he is the, what? Stumbling block. He's the cornerstone. The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This came about from the Lord, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And then later on he says, he who falls on the stone will be broken to pieces, and whomever it falls, it will scatter him like dust. It will crush him. You see, Jesus is the stone. If you fall upon him, you will be broken to pieces. Now, that's kind of a negative, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be. It's a positive. If you are broken to pieces, meaning you come in the light of the gospel and you see who exactly you are in light of who he is, you are broken to pieces and you have an opportunity to repent. However, if you don't repent and the stone falls on you, you are crushed to dust. There's only really two ways to go here. You hear the gospel, you see yourself in light of the gospel, and you repent so that you're more like Christ, or you're crushed by the truth. And here's a great truth I want to share with you. When you encounter Jesus Christ, you encounter his message, there are two options you always have. You can either take that truth and respond to it in your life, or you can ignore it, and that truth will become poison in your heart. You see, when you hear the gospel truth, you either respond and become more like Christ, or you ignore and you become less like him. And that truth then crushes you instead of breaks you. I hope that you're a broken people today, not a crushed people today. So my question to you is, have you built on the sure foundation of Christ? Are you living a life of meaning? Is your life being held together by Jesus? Or is there something else going on in your life? I'm just going to leave these words up for you to respond. Would you please stand? I love preaching the parables of Jesus. They're so easy to understand that maybe my 3-year-old can understand some of them. And yet they're so deep that a theologian can drown in them. Where are you today? What are you doing today? You see what God has painted as. You see how we understand ourselves. We see who Jesus is. Will you respond to his truth today? Will you be good tenants today? Will you be fruit bearers for him today?